Disrespect can feel like a personal attack, shaking our confidence and testing our patience. Whether it stems from a dismissive colleague, a critical family member, or a stranger's rude comment, these moments can leave us questioning our worth or even our principles. But what if we could approach such challenges with the wisdom and composure of a Stoic philosopher? Stoicism, a philosophy grounded in rationality and virtue, offers timeless guidance for navigating life's inevitable difficulties, including how to respond when others fail to show respect. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This Stoic principle reminds us that while we cannot control how others treat us, we can control how we respond. By mastering our reactions, we not only maintain our inner peace, but also transform moments of conflict into opportunities for growth. Today, we'll explore 5 Stoic-inspired strategies to handle disrespect with grace, wisdom, and self-respect. As we dive into these powerful insights, take a moment to reflect. How do you currently respond to disrespect? Are there ways you could better align your actions with your values? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us on this journey of self-mastery. 1. Recognizing your inherent self-worth. In a world where external validation often feels like a measure of success, encountering disrespect can shake even the most confident among us. However, Stoic philosophy teaches us a profound truth. Our value is not determined by how others perceive us, but by how we perceive ourselves. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This principle serves as a guiding light for maintaining self-worth in the face of adversity, reminding us that our response holds the key to our inner peace. Imagine this. A dedicated employee consistently brings innovative ideas to their team, yet their contributions are met with indifference by their manager. They feel invisible, and frustration begins to creep in. Instead of succumbing to resentment, this individual decides to redirect their energy. They invest in acquiring new skills, improving their expertise, and nurturing professional relationships outside their immediate circle. Over time, their growth earns them recognition in their field, leading to opportunities far greater than what their dismissive manager could have offered. This story illustrates a core Stoic tenet. External circumstances, including disrespect, do not define us. Our actions and mindset do. Stoicism encourages us to anchor our sense of worth in internal values rather than external opinions. Disrespect from others often reflects their issues, not our shortcomings. When we internalize this, we liberate ourselves from the need to seek approval. This is not about dismissing feedback or isolating ourselves from constructive criticism. Rather, it's about discerning between meaningful input and noise. In the words of Epictetus, "Whoever is going to be a philosopher must train himself not to be offended by any man." The power to interpret and react lies solely within us. To put this philosophy into practice, consider starting a personal journal. Dedicate time each day to reflect on your strengths, achievements, and core values. Write down moments where you felt truly proud of yourself, not because of external validation, but because of your effort and integrity. Over time, this practice reinforces a sense of self that is independent of external respect. Have you ever taken a moment to celebrate your own growth without needing an audience? Share your reflections in the comments. Your journey might inspire others. Confucian philosophy aligns seamlessly with this Stoic ideal. Confucius taught, "The superior man respects himself, and only then can he expect respect from others." This wisdom underscores the importance of self-respect as the foundation for earning genuine respect from others. When you hold yourself in high regard, others are more likely to follow suit. However, Self-respect is not built overnight. It is cultivated through deliberate actions and consistent choices that align with your values. Take another example. A young entrepreneur faces harsh criticism from peers who doubt their vision. Instead of internalizing their negativity, the entrepreneur remains steadfast, focusing on refining their ideas and building their business. They surround themselves with mentors who offer constructive advice and use setbacks as stepping stones. Over time, the success of their venture silences doubters and validates their resilience, not because others' respect defined their worth, but because their belief in themselves propelled them forward. To maintain this mindset, focus on personal growth rather than the elusive pursuit of universal respect. Identify areas in your life where you want to improve and channel your energy into those pursuits. For instance, if you feel overlooked in your social circle, consider taking up a new hobby or joining a community that aligns with your passions. These activities not only enrich your life, but also expand your horizons, helping you connect with people who appreciate your unique qualities. The practice of self-reflection and growth also helps us navigate relationships where respect may be lacking. Instead of seeking validation from people unwilling or unable to provide it, Stoicism advises us to prioritize our well-being. Remember, no one else's opinion can diminish your inherent value unless you allow it. When faced with disrespect, ask yourself, does this person's judgment align with my values or goals? If not, let their words pass like wind through a forest, acknowledged but unimpeded. A practical exercise to reinforce this perspective is visualization. Picture yourself as a tree deeply rooted in the ground. The winds of disrespect may rustle your leaves, but your roots, your values and self-worth remain unshaken. This imagery can help you maintain composure and confidence during difficult interactions. Ultimately, recognizing your inherent self-worth allows you to approach disrespect with clarity and grace. You become less reactive, more focused on personal growth, and better equipped to cultivate meaningful relationships. The wisdom of both Stoicism and Confucianism reminds us that respect begins within. Confucius's teaching that self-respect precedes external respect, and Epictetus's focus on our inner responses both highlight the power we hold to shape our own experiences. Reflect on this. How do you measure your own worth? Is it tied to external validation, or does it stem from your internal values? Take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights could inspire someone else to reassess their perspective. And if this message resonates with you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more transformative ideas that empower personal growth. The journey to self-mastery begins with understanding that your worth is immutable, no matter how others treat you. By focusing on personal growth, embracing self-reflection, and aligning your actions with your values, you not only navigate disrespect with resilience, but also inspire others to recognize the strength that comes from within. As you embark on this path, remember, your self-worth is not a reflection of others' opinions, but a testament to your character and integrity. 2. Don't let emotions control your reactions. In life, moments of disrespect often feel like personal attacks, igniting a surge of emotions, anger, frustration, or even a sense of helplessness. Yet, the Stoics remind us that these emotions, if left unchecked, can become our greatest adversaries. Marcus Aurelius encapsulates this truth with profound simplicity. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This timeless insight teaches that true power lies not in controlling external circumstances, but in mastering our inner responses. Why is it so tempting to react emotionally when faced with disrespect? Human nature often compels us to defend our ego, seeking validation or revenge. However, anger rarely resolves the situation. Instead, it often escalates conflicts and diminishes our sense of control. Imagine someone shouting insults at you in public. Your first instinct might be to retaliate, to assert your worth through confrontation. But what does that achieve? It only drags you into the same negativity and leaves you emotionally drained. Reflect on this. Have you ever regretted an emotional outburst that, in hindsight, could have been avoided? Share your story in the comments. Your experience might resonate with others facing similar struggles. The power of calmness is unparalleled. When you maintain composure in the face of disrespect, you communicate strength without uttering a word. Consider a scenario where someone publicly criticizes your work during a meeting. Instead of retaliating with defensive arguments, you take a deep breath, acknowledge their perspective, and calmly present your viewpoint. Your poise not only diffuses tension, but also earns respect from others in the room. This approach exemplifies Marcus Aurelius's wisdom, reminding us that external events may challenge us, but they don't have to define us. To cultivate this strength, practical tools from Stoic philosophy and mindfulness practices are invaluable. One effective technique is meditation, which trains the mind to observe emotions without being ruled by them. By setting aside a few minutes daily to sit in stillness and focus on your breath, you can develop the awareness needed to pause before reacting. Another practice is deep breathing. When faced with disrespect, pause and take 3 slow, deliberate breaths. This simple act creates a moment of clarity, allowing you to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Imagine this: you're at a family gathering, and a relative makes a cutting remark about your career choices. The room falls silent, eyes turning to see how you'll react. Instead of snapping back, you smile calmly, saying, "I appreciate your perspective, though I see things differently." Your composed response disarms their criticism and shifts the tone of the conversation. How often do we miss the opportunity to diffuse tension with calmness? Reflect on moments like these and consider sharing how you've handled similar situations. Buddhism echoes this wisdom, emphasizing the transformative power of emotional mastery. The Buddha taught, "The one who controls their emotions is the one who achieves enlightenment." This teaching aligns seamlessly with Stoic principles, underscoring that controlling our reactions is not about suppressing emotions, but about channeling them constructively. Emotional mastery isn't achieved overnight. It requires consistent practice, patience, and self-awareness. Let's delve into a real-life example. In the corporate world, leaders often face public criticism, whether from employees, stakeholders, or competitors. Consider a CEO whose strategic decision faces harsh critique during a press conference. Instead of reacting defensively, they calmly acknowledge the concerns, provide rational explanations, and express openness to feedback. This composed response not only salvages their credibility, but also turns potential adversaries into collaborators. Have you ever witnessed such a display of poise? How did it shape your perception of the individual? Share your thoughts below. Practicing emotional control also fosters personal growth. Each time you resist the urge to react impulsively, you strengthen your mental resilience. A helpful exercise is journaling. At the end of each day, reflect on moments when you felt provoked. Ask yourself, how did I react? What could I have done differently? Over time, these reflections can help you identify patterns and refine your responses. However, maintaining composure doesn't mean accepting disrespect passively. Stoic philosophy advocates for assertive yet calm responses. If someone crosses a line, address the issue with clarity and confidence. For instance, if a colleague constantly interrupts you during meetings, you might say, "I value your input. but I'd appreciate the chance to finish my thoughts before discussing them. This statement asserts your boundary without escalating the conflict, preserving both your dignity and the professional relationship. Let's explore another layer of emotional mastery: choosing silence as a response. Silence, when used intentionally, is a powerful tool. It signals that you refuse to be provoked, forcing the other person to confront their behavior. Confucius once said, "Silence is a true friend who never betrays." Imagine someone attempting to belittle you in front of peers. Instead of engaging in their negativity, you meet their words with silence and a calm gaze. This response not only protects your peace, but also exposes the futility of their actions. Despite its benefits, emotional control is often misunderstood as weakness. In reality, it is a profound strength. The ability to remain calm under pressure demonstrates self-mastery and inspires others to emulate your behavior. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." By practicing emotional control, you embody the virtues you wish to see in the world. Take a moment to reflect. Are there recurring situations in your life where you struggle to control your reactions? What steps could you take today to cultivate greater emotional resilience? Share your journey in the comments. Your insights could guide someone else on their path to mastery. Finally, let's return to the idea that emotional mastery is not about suppressing feelings, but about understanding and directing them. The next time you encounter disrespect, pause and ask yourself, does this situation truly define me? Or is it an opportunity to demonstrate my strength? As the Buddha and Marcus Aurelius remind us, the true battle is not with others, but within ourselves. If this message resonates with you, hit like and subscribe to join a community of thinkers and learners, committed to living with purpose and clarity. Turn on notifications so you never miss an opportunity to explore transformative ideas. Together, let's embrace the power of emotional mastery to create a more composed and harmonious life. Remember, strength lies not in what happens to us, but in how we choose to respond. Let's choose wisely. 3. Setting clear boundaries with confidence. Boundaries are the invisible lines that define respect, trust, and self-worth in our relationships. Yet, setting and maintaining them often feels daunting, especially when emotions or societal expectations blur the lines. Epictetus reminds us, "No one is free who is not master of himself." This wisdom underscores that personal freedom begins with self-mastery, which includes the ability to assert our boundaries without fear. Similarly, Confucius teaches, "The superior man is modest in his speech but firm in his actions," emphasizing that respect starts from within. Let's explore why setting clear boundaries is essential, how to do it effectively, and how it transforms relationships. Imagine a scenario where a colleague frequently assigns their tasks to you, assuming you'll handle them without objection. Initially, you comply to maintain workplace harmony or to avoid confrontation. But over time, the added workload drains your energy and compromises your productivity. One day, you decide enough is enough. Instead of silently enduring, you have a calm yet firm conversation with your colleague. "I value teamwork, but I've noticed I'm taking on tasks outside my responsibilities. Let's discuss how we can distribute our work more fairly." This act of boundary setting not only alleviates your stress, but also fosters mutual respect. Have you ever faced a similar situation? Share your story in the comments. Your experience could inspire others. Establishing boundaries isn't about rejection or hostility. It's about self-respect and clarity. The way you communicate these boundaries plays a critical role. Accusatory statements like, "You always take advantage of me," often escalate conflict. Instead, constructive approaches such as, "I feel overwhelmed and would like to revisit our arrangement," create space for dialogue and understanding. This shift from confrontation to collaboration helps preserve relationships while upholding your needs. Now, let's consider a more unexpected situation: declining a project opportunity. Imagine being offered a high-profile task that seems promising, but requires skills you haven't mastered yet. The temptation to say yes might be strong, driven by the fear of missing out or appearing unambitious. However, accepting it without preparation could lead to burnout or failure. Instead, setting a boundary might look like saying, "I'm honored by the offer, but I believe I need more experience in this area. Can we revisit this opportunity in the future?" By recognizing your limits and communicating them respectfully, you safeguard your growth while leaving the door open for future possibilities. The power of saying no. Saying no is often viewed as selfish or confrontational, but it's a powerful tool for protecting your time, energy, and mental health. Buddhism teaches that balance and mindfulness begin with understanding your limitations. When you overextend yourself, you not only risk your well-being, but also diminish the quality of your contributions. Reflect on this. How often have you agreed to something out of obligation, only to regret it later? What would happen if you prioritized your needs instead? For instance, imagine a friend who frequently seeks emotional support during late hours, disrupting your rest. Initially, you might feel obligated to help, fearing they'll think you're unsupportive. However, consistent disruptions affect your health and productivity. Setting a boundary might look like saying, "I care about you deeply, but I need to ensure I'm well rested to support you effectively. Can we talk earlier in the evening?" This honest conversation protects your well-being while showing empathy. Practical steps to set boundaries. Clarify your values and limits. Take time to reflect on what truly matters to you. Write down the areas in your life where you feel your boundaries are being crossed. Is it at work, with friends, or within your family? Journaling can help identify patterns and clarify the changes you need to make. Practice assertive communication. Rehearse how to express your boundaries clearly and respectfully. Role-playing scenarios with a trusted friend can boost your confidence. Start small. Begin with less intimidating situations to build your boundary-setting skills. Success in these smaller interactions will prepare you for more challenging ones. Stay consistent. Boundaries lose their effectiveness if they're not upheld. If someone repeatedly crosses your limits, calmly remind them of your agreement. Seek support. Surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries and encourage your growth. Their support reinforces your resolve. Wisdom from Confucius and the Stoics. Confucius's advice, "Self-respect is the foundation for earning respect from others," highlights a profound truth. How you treat yourself sets the standard for how others treat you. If you consistently disregard your needs, others may follow suit. Similarly, Marcus Aurelius's philosophy reinforces this concept. He believed that maintaining integrity in your actions, whether through speech or silence, ensures alignment with your values. Let's consider a family scenario. A relative constantly borrows money but never repays it. Each time you hesitate to address the issue, fearing it might harm your relationship. However, this pattern erodes trust and creates resentment. Setting a boundary might involve saying, "I want to support you, but I need clarity on how and when you'll repay this loan. Let's discuss a plan that works for both of us." Though uncomfortable, this conversation protects your finances and encourages mutual accountability. The transformative power of boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls that isolate us, they're bridges that foster healthier connections. When you set and enforce boundaries, you demonstrate self-respect, clarity, and authenticity. This, in turn, inspires others to treat you with the respect you deserve. As you master this skill, you'll notice profound changes in your relationships, mental health, and overall sense of empowerment. Take a moment to reflect. Are there areas in your life where you've been hesitant to set boundaries? How might asserting your needs improve your relationships or personal growth? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. If this message resonates with you, consider how you can apply these lessons in your daily life. What's one boundary you can establish today that aligns with your values? Let's discuss in the comments. And if you found value in this, hit like and subscribe to join our community of thinkers and doers. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss future insights on living with courage and integrity. Boundaries are not just about saying no, they're about saying yes to what truly matters, your well-being, your values, and your growth. Together, let's create a world where mutual respect and self-worth are the cornerstones of every interaction. 4. Compassion and understanding the reasons behind disrespect. Compassion is a virtue that transcends cultures and philosophies, serving as a bridge between conflict and understanding. Marcus Aurelius, in his wisdom, once wrote, "Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears." This profound statement encourages us to look beyond our initial feelings of hurt when faced with disrespect and seek the deeper reasons behind another person's behavior. Often, disrespect stems not from malice, but from internal struggles or external pressures affecting the individual. Instead of reacting impulsively, what if we pause to ask, why might they be acting this way? Consider the case of a manager who constantly criticizes their team, seemingly without reason. On the surface, their behavior might come across as rude or demeaning. However, upon closer examination, it becomes clear that they are under immense pressure from upper management to meet unrealistic targets. Their outbursts, though inappropriate, are a reflection of their own fears and frustrations. In such situations, rather than responding with anger or resentment, approaching the individual with understanding can transform the dynamic. Imagine saying, "I've noticed that things seem particularly challenging lately. Is there any way I can support you?" This simple act of compassion can open the door to dialogue and potentially ease the tension. Have you ever encountered someone whose behavior made more sense once you understood their circumstances? Share your story in the comments. It might inspire someone to choose empathy over judgment. The Stoics believed that understanding the root cause of another person's actions is the first step toward maintaining inner peace. Reacting with anger only perpetuates the cycle of negativity, whereas compassion disrupts it. Buddhism echoes this wisdom, teaching that understanding is the doorway to compassion. By seeking to understand, we shift our focus from self-pity to empathy, which not only benefits the other person, but also frees us from the emotional burden of resentment. Let's explore a practical example. Imagine being cut off in traffic by another driver who seems reckless. Your initial instinct might be to honk in frustration or shout an insult, but what if you stopped to consider their perspective? Perhaps they are rushing to the hospital or dealing with a personal crisis. While their actions may still be wrong, reframing the situation with compassion helps you stay calm and avoid unnecessary stress. It's a small but powerful shift that aligns with both Stoic and Buddhist teachings. Compassion doesn't mean condoning disrespectful behavior. It means responding to it in a way that preserves your integrity. Instead of escalating conflict, choose to de-escalate it by seeking understanding. If a friend cancels plans repeatedly, instead of feeling slighted, consider asking, "Is everything okay?" You seem to have a lot on your plate lately. This approach not only strengthens your relationship, but also sets the stage for a constructive conversation. Sometimes, compassion requires active listening. When someone lashes out, their words may be a cry for help disguised as anger. By listening without judgment, you create a space where they feel safe to express their true emotions. This act of patience can be transformative. Think of the colleague who constantly interrupts during meetings. While it may be irritating, their behavior could stem from a fear of being overlooked. A gentle conversation after the meeting might reveal their insecurities and allow you to address the issue collaboratively. Practicing compassion doesn't come naturally to everyone, especially when emotions run high. Developing this skill requires intentional effort. Start by observing your own reactions. When someone disrespects you, ask yourself, am I reacting to their words or to my interpretation of their intent? This question, inspired by Marcus Aurelius's philosophy, helps you separate the action from the emotion, giving you the clarity to respond thoughtfully. Mindfulness exercises, such as meditation or focused breathing, can also strengthen your ability to stay calm in the face of disrespect. For instance, taking a few deep breaths before responding to a hurtful comment can prevent impulsive reactions and give you the time to choose your words wisely. Have you ever tried a mindfulness technique that helped you manage conflict? Share it in the comments. It could be the tool someone else needs to navigate a similar challenge. In a workplace setting, compassion can lead to surprising outcomes. Imagine a team leader who notices an employee's declining performance. Instead of reprimanding them immediately, the leader approaches with curiosity and compassion, saying, "I've noticed you've been struggling recently. Is there something on your mind?" This simple act of kindness can reveal underlying challenges, such as family issues or mental health struggles, and open the door to support and improvement. The employee feels valued, and the relationship strengthens. Reflect for a moment. How might compassion transform a difficult relationship in your own life? Ultimately, compassion is a gift that benefits both the giver and the receiver. It allows you to maintain control over your emotions while fostering an environment of understanding and growth. As the Buddha taught, hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule. Applying this principle to everyday interactions not only diffuses tension, but also creates opportunities for deeper connections. Reflecting on these lessons, consider the relationships in your life. Is there someone whose behavior has frustrated you, yet whose actions might make more sense if you looked beyond the surface? How might approaching them with compassion transform your dynamic? Take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments. Your reflection might encourage others to adopt a similar perspective. Compassion, paired with understanding, is a powerful tool for navigating disrespect. It doesn't require you to accept poor treatment, but it challenges you to respond with dignity and wisdom. The next time you encounter disrespect, pause and reflect on Marcus Aurelius's guidance. Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. Use that moment to choose empathy over anger, understanding over judgment. If this resonates with you, join our community of thinkers and doers by liking this video and subscribing. Let's cultivate a world where compassion and understanding guide our actions, even in the face of challenges. Together, we can turn moments of conflict into opportunities for connection and growth. 5. Building patience and staying true to your values. In a world where external influences constantly challenge our integrity, the Stoic principle of staying true to one's values becomes a pillar of strength. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This timeless wisdom reminds us to anchor our actions in principles rather than being swayed by fleeting temptations or the behavior of others. True strength lies not in pleasing everyone, but in aligning our decisions with our core values, a practice that demands patience, resilience, and self-awareness. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where adhering to your principles came at a cost? Imagine a business professional who is offered a lucrative partnership but discovers that the potential partner engages in unethical practices. The easy path would be to accept the deal, rationalizing the compromise for the sake of profit. Yet, such a choice erodes not only professional integrity, but also self-respect. By rejecting the offer, the entrepreneur might face short-term losses, but gains something far more valuable: the knowledge that they remain true to their values. This is not mere idealism, it's a practice deeply rooted in self-discipline. The Stoics believed that our character is shaped not by what happens to us, but by how we respond. Remaining patient and steadfast in the face of challenges is not about stubbornness, but about honoring the moral compass that guides our lives. When you refuse to compromise your principles, you send a clear message to others about your boundaries and what you stand for. Over time, this consistency builds trust, credibility, and an unshakable sense of self-worth. Patience plays a critical role in maintaining this alignment with our values. It's tempting to seek immediate results or validation, especially when others question or challenge our decisions. However, as Marcus Aurelius reminds us, strength comes from within. To act impulsively or out of fear is to hand over control of our lives to external forces. Instead, we must cultivate patience, the ability to endure discomfort and uncertainty without losing sight of what matters most. Take another example. A teacher who values fairness and equality in the classroom faces pressure from parents to give undue advantages to certain students. Yielding to such demands might avoid conflict, but it would betray the teacher's commitment to justice. By standing firm, they uphold a standard that benefits not only the immediate environment, but also sets a precedent for future generations. This act of integrity, while difficult in the moment, becomes a testament to the power of living by one's principles. Practical steps can help you reinforce this commitment to your values. Begin by identifying your core principles, those beliefs that define who you are and guide your decisions. Write them down, reflect on them, and revisit them regularly. When faced with difficult choices, use these values as a benchmark. Ask yourself, does this decision align with what I stand for? If the answer is no, have the courage to walk away. Another key practice is developing emotional resilience. People who challenge your values often project their insecurities or frustrations onto you. Recognizing this can help you respond with compassion rather than anger. For instance, if someone mocks your principles, resist the urge to retaliate. Instead, respond with calm confidence. I respect your perspective, but this is what I believe in. This approach not only diffuses tension, but also reinforces your inner strength. The teachings of Confucius further illuminate this path. He stated, "Integrity is the guiding star of the superior man." Integrity requires consistency between one's values, words, and actions. It's not about perfection, but about striving to live authentically. When you act with integrity, you inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect that elevates everyone around you. Consider the story of a community leader who faced criticism for refusing to support a popular initiative that contradicted their ethical stance. Despite public backlash, they stood by their decision, explaining their reasoning with clarity and respect. Over time, the community came to appreciate their honesty and commitment, recognizing that true leadership requires courage and adherence to principles. Patience and steadfastness don't mean isolation or rigidity. They mean staying grounded amidst the chaos. When you encounter resistance or skepticism, remember that you're not alone. The Stoics, Confucius, and countless others faced similar trials, yet they remained true to their paths. Draw strength from their example and remind yourself that every choice you make shapes your character and defines your legacy. What challenges have you faced in staying true to your values? Have there been moments where patience and persistence led to unexpected rewards? Share your story in the comments. Your experiences could inspire someone else to embrace their principles. Finally, recognize that living by your values is a lifelong journey, not a destination. There will be times when it feels easier to compromise, when the allure of comfort or approval tempts you to stray. In these moments, reflect on Marcus Aurelius's wisdom. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Let this principle guide you, reminding you that your values are not negotiable. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to reflect on how you can incorporate these practices into your daily life. Hit like and subscribe to join a community of thinkers and doers who are committed to living authentically. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to explore ideas that inspire and empower. Remember, the world respects those who respect themselves. By staying patient, resilient, and true to your values, you not only build a life of integrity, but also inspire others to do the same. Together, let's create a culture that values principles over convenience and authenticity over approval. As we reach the end of this exploration, let's pause to reflect on the profound strength it takes to handle disrespect while staying rooted in your values. The lessons from Stoic philosophy remind us that our worth is not defined by how others treat us, but by how we choose to respond. Each of the 5 ways we've discussed, recognizing your unchanging value, mastering your emotions, setting firm boundaries, cultivating compassion, and holding fast to your principles, serve as tools to navigate life's challenges with wisdom and grace. Disrespect is inevitable, but it doesn't have to derail you. Instead, it's an opportunity, a test of your integrity and resilience. When you refuse to let others' actions dictate your behavior, you reclaim your power and redefine what respect truly means. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. So what steps will you take today to embody this wisdom? Will you journal your core values, practice patience in a tense situation, or offer compassion to someone who challenges you? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story could inspire someone else to take their first step towards self-mastery. Thank you for joining me on this journey of self-discovery and growth. Your engagement makes this community a space where meaningful conversations thrive. If this message resonates with you, show your support by liking the video and subscribing to our channel. Turn on notifications to ensure you never miss a discussion that can empower and transform your life. Remember, your voice matters, your values matter, and your actions shape the world around you. Together, let's create a ripple effect of integrity, courage, and compassion. Thank you for being part of this community, where thinkers, doers, and dreamers come together to inspire change. Let's continue to grow, learn, and lead with purpose.